Hi guys, it's Vitasta. Welcome back to my channel. This video is a part 2 of the reaction for the Tortured Poets Department by Taylor Swift. This part is called The Anthology. Taylor released these albums a few weeks back, and as usual I am late to the party, but I am here. As I promised in my last video that I will react to the next songs. It's been like 3 weeks and I have not heard these songs. It was so hard. There are reels already, there are like a million tweets and everyone's like literally talking about it. All I've been listening to is the first album. I did not listen to any of these songs. Just for you guys, do you know how hard it is for me? I wanted to record this video so long back, but I wanted to do it with my friend. Things just don't work out sometimes, and it's been a crazy 3 weeks, and I even kind of dropped the idea of making this video. But then I was like, that's not me anymore. That Vitasa is long gone. In the previous video, I did not react appropriately to the songs because I had no idea what the album is about, what is going on, and I was like too much in this zone of, not wanting to know what the songs are about and all of that. But then, it's Taylor. Taylor's songs are her lyrics, so this time I will try to listen to them like they are Taylor Swift's songs. Anyways, so I'm going to start with the next songs. मेरा favorite गाना है, sorry.
Now I'm down bad, crying at the gym. Everything comes out, teenage petulance. Fuck it if I can't have him. I might just die, it would make no difference.
अपने आप चल गया, I cannot stop. Okay guys, let's start. This album starts from the song called The Black Dog.
I am someone who until recent events you shared your secrets with, in your location you forgot to turn it off. And so I watched as you walk into some bar called The Black Dog. Just don't understand how you don't miss me in The Black Dog.
Cheating. This is so sad. She's talking about her boyfriend or this person who cheated on her. Who could it be? He had his location on and he went to this bar where these both used to go, and he went there alone. But then she knows nobody goes to the bar alone. He was there with somebody who is too young to know this song.
Just don't understand.
I really like this line. I know I've heard it somewhere, maybe in a reel or something. This
just don't understand.
It sounds so country. This song feels like something that could be on the Fearless album.
Old habits die, scream.
This song, she's talking about this guy who either cheated on her or moved on too quickly. It hurts.
Just don't understand.
I'm gonna say this to everything. I just don't understand. It feels like the song is about Joe. There were rumors in between. How could you? I thought they're soulmates. And I felt like if Taylor can find love, I can find love as well. And then he cheated on her. Next song, I'm Gonna Get You Back. It's interesting how she has written this. There is no space in between. It says, I'm gonna get you back. My intuition says that this song is going to be a dance number. You know what a dance number is in a Taylor song.
Fly like a short skirt, the one that fits me like skin. The bar like something's funny, bubbly. Once you fix your face, I'm going in. Whether I'm gonna be your wife or gonna smash up your bike, I haven't decided yet, but I'm gonna get you back.
Okay, it's not that catchy, but what I'm not understanding is that, okay, she's like, I'm wearing this outfit and I am trying to like rijhao this guy. She saw him, she wants to go in, whatever that means. Then she's like, whether I'm gonna be your wife or gonna smash up your bike. It's it's gonna be forever or it's gonna go down in flames. Are we gonna like end up getting married, or like we're gonna have a bad breakup? So I don't understand what the I'm gonna get you back thing means, because getting someone back is like getting somebody who was already yours, getting them back. I love it. Okay, इसमें जैसे गाती है, it is so beautiful. Do you want to hear it again? Oh, एक और बार please.
Maybe like a dumb house party, or I might just love you till the end.
Cute. I can leave you like a dumb house party, or I can love you till the end. You will never know. Depends on how you behave. It's a cute song. I like it. Push the recent button. We're becoming something new. I feel like this is about somebody she has already been with, which people say that it is. Matty, say you got somebody, I'll say I got someone too. Even if it's handcuffed, I'm leaving here with you. Not a good thing to do, but yeah, that's what she's saying.
All my friends, I hate you, but I love you just the same. Pick your poison, babe. I'm poison either way. I'm gonna be your.
She's so funny. I told my friends I hate you, but I love you just the same. Toxic.
Whether I'm gonna be your wife or gonna smash up your bike, I haven't decided yet, but I'm gonna get you back.
I mean, it was such a cute song. The beats are cute. Melody is great. The lyrics are cheeky. We have a lot of songs to go, so let's jump to the Albatross.
Wise men once said, wild winds are death to the candle rose by.
This song sounds like something that should be on Evermore album. Kinda dark and like preachy.
Only liquor anoints you. She is here to destroy you.
So far, I don't find anything catchy about this song, nor have I come to understand the meaning. Maybe I'm stupid because I really don't get it. When she uses like too many metaphors, I'm sorry guys, I just cannot get it. I have to refer to the smart people on the internet to actually get the meaning. Is this song again about cheating? Or is this about she being the cheater, the mistress? I'm so confused.
She is here to destroy you.
It's like she's saying it with a smile. She is here to destroy you.
She's the death you chose. You're in terrible danger.
You're in terrible danger.
All the life you chose and all this terrible danger.
I'm probably not understanding it completely, but then in the last verse she changes the narrative. She's like this albatross person who was there to destroy you, was your death, is going to like kill you or whatever. Now she's like your life. She saved you, she rescued you. That was a death you chose, this is a life you chose. So you know the contrast is clear. So I am still not sure what this song is about. The next song is Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus. It's a joke on Twitter like Chloe and Oomph. Oomph means one of my friends. Is this like a bisexual thing? Let's listen to the song.
Hands in the hair of somebody in darkness named Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus, and I just watched it happen. If you wanna break my cold, cold heart, just say I loved you the way that you were.
This line was... Sometimes Taylor gets too personal out of nowhere. You know, you're just listening to a song, vibing, and then she says something and you're like, wait a second.
Wait, is this fucking play about us?
If you want to break my cold, cold heart, just say I loved you the way that you were. She's kind of imagining in her apartment that this guy, whoever he is probably with somebody named Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus, which says that she doesn't know if he's with a guy or a girl. And I just watched it happen. I mean, she was just imagining it, and then you saw me with someone else and you just watched it happen. So like they're moving on with different people, but they're still hung up. I still cannot get away from this line, if you want to break my cold, cold heart, which she says my cold, cold heart. She doesn't mean that her heart is cold. She means what the person says about her. Like that person is saying her heart is cold, and she's like, if you want to break my cold, cold heart, just say that you liked me better like I was before. Abhi jaisi hu waisi you don't like me.
You wanna break my
loved in past tense. She's mentioned Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus just once in the song, and she named the song that. Next song, How Did It End? Let's find out. I just want to show you how the lyrics look like a poem.
I conduct this post-mortem. He was a hothouse flower to my outdoorsman.
This song could be a bit hard to memorize because I don't know the tune.
Our melodies were such we could not cure them. And so a touch that was my birthright became foreign.
Like too many words for a paragraph, and it looks like a recitation more than a song. She's like, let me tell you the tea, like what happened.
Come all, 'cause they know they can trust him. Then feverishly calling their cousins, called it all out.
I'm still not understanding how did it end. There is too many metaphors for a simple-minded person like me to understand.
Sitting in a tree, D-Y-I-N-G. Sitting in a tree, D-Y-I-N-G.
Well, she said everything except telling us how did it end. Could be my least favorite song till now, including the first album, because this is like too personal. It's like she wrote something from her very niche and specific experience. I am personally not able to decipher it. Please don't kill me. Next song, So High School. I tried really hard to never listen to the song because I know what the song is about, and it's like a cute love song. Blushing. With her boyfriend, she feels like she is 16 again. She's in high school again, and those stolen glances and asking them about, what did you think when you first saw me? I'll drink what you think and I'll smoke your jokes. Cheesy but cute.
Watching American Pie with you on a Saturday night. High school, every time I look at you,
Did you hear that?
every time I look at you, you got Americans who kill me. It's just a game of really.
I know this lore, okay? Travis played this game called Kiss, Marry or Kill,
Okay, I want to play a little game with you. It's called Kill, Marry, Kiss.
where he was asked about Taylor Swift, Kiss, Marry or Kill, and he said,
And then Taylor Swift would be the kiss.
and that was so long ago, and she puts that in the song, which is like so cute. She remembers.
Dare spin bottles, you know how to ball. I know Aristotle, brand new full throttle. Teach me while your bros play Grand Theft Auto. It's true, swear.
NSFW. Truth, dare, spin, bottles, you know how to ball. I know Aristotle. He knows how to play football, and I know Aristotle.
You know what she wanted, and boy, you got her. Brand new full throttle. Teach me while your bros play Grand Theft Auto.
This song is my personal favorite. Why am I blushing though? She's like fully happy and childish and so high school. The love is like so simple and innocent. It's not a lot of metaphors or a lot of complicated, deep feelings. I mean, the feelings are deep for sure, but it's nothing that you have to, explain. It's very simple. You're watching American Pie on a Saturday night. Your friends are around, so be quiet. Their relationship seems like very fun and sweet. I'm happy for her. One last time.
Look at you. Dare spin bottles, you know how to ball. I know Aristotle, brand new full throttle. Teach me while your bros play Grand Theft Auto.
Okay, next song. I hate it here. I hate it here, so I will go to the secret gardens in my mind. I watch reels. Okay, I've heard this song, but I've only heard this one line.
Quick, quick, tell me something awful, like you are a poet, trapped inside the body of a finance guy. I hate it here, so I will go to secret gardens in my mind. People need a key to get to, the only one is mine.
She goes to her mind, like she's always in her mind and making imaginary stories, and nobody's gonna know what she's thinking about, what is on her mind. And as far as I've analyzed the song, it seems like she's like on a date or something, and she's like, tell me something awful. The guy is speaking and she is like, you are my consolation prize. He's talking and she's in her mind's secret garden and stuff.
Seems like it was never even fun back then. Nostalgia is a mind's trick. If I'd been there, I'd hate it. It was freezing in the palace.
Truth. She said, even if I was there, I would still hate it. Nostalgia is a mind's trick. If I'd been there, I hate it. अभी वो nostalgia आपको किसी भी चीज़ का हो सकता है, but at the time you hate being there, and then in the future you're like, you know, wow, 2020 was so great. I missed the 2020 era. But we all know, we all hated that year, but still we are like kind of nostalgic. This is like very shared consciousness wala human experience.
Lonely, but I'm good. I'm bitter, but I swear I'm fine. I save all my romanticism for my inner life. And
by the end, she's like, I will just save all my romanticism for my inner self, and she just wants to be alone and lonely. And she's like, you know, I'm lonely, but I'm good because I have my mind with me. I will think about scenarios and I will pass my time. I do not need anybody. Next song is Thank You, Amy. You guys know what it means, right? She has capitalized the words K, I, and M.
when I picture my hometown, there's a bronze spray tan statue of you and a plaque underneath it that threatens to push me down the stairs at our school. And
Bronze spray tan statue.
all that time you were throwing punches, I was building something. Fuck you, Amy, to the night sky as the blood was gushing.
She's like, जब तू मेरे साथ ये सब कर रही थी, like you were throwing punches, I was building something. She was making a life, making an album, making songs. I cannot forgive the way you made me feel. So screamed F-U-C-K, Amy, to the night sky and the blood was gushing. But I cannot forget the way you made me heal. She also helped her heal. A little confused, but good one.
I built a legacy which you can't undo.
One thing I just realized is that हम लोग तो news में literally sitting in India or whatever in any part of the world, we literally only have these news outlets जिसके पास बयान आते हैं जो भी, you know, whatever we see is just the surface and very made up. Taylor probably knows a lot more things that Kim probably said or did about her or to her than any one of us will ever know. So it's not just what was shown in the public. There has probably been a lot more things.
Everyone knows that my mother is a saintly woman, but she used to say she wished that she were dead.
This is interesting.
And in your mind, you never beat my spirit black and blue. I don't think you've changed much, and so I changed your name and any real defining clues. And one day, your kid comes home singing a song that only us two is gonna know is about you. 'Cause all that time you were throwing.
It's funny because Taylor said that, you know, nobody will ever know what this song is about, but मैंने नाम ऐसे बदल दिया है कि only you and I will know that the song is about you, and one day your kid is singing this song. But then Taylor, everyone knows who the song is about.
Thank you, Amy.
The song was pretty self-explanatory and very niche again, very relatable to her. I don't think I'm gonna be gungunawing this song. It's been a long week for me, guys, so I literally went and took a nap for 15 minutes and I came back and I'm reshooting this video. Productivity. I cry a lot, but I am so productive. Anyways, next song, I Look in People's Windows.
I had died the tiniest death. I spied the catch in your breath. Northbound, I got carried away as you boarded your train. South, 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 and met mine one more time. If your eyes looked up and met mine one more time.
It's a very short song. It's like a 2-minute song. It has no bridge, just 2 verses. What I could make out from the song is that it's a post-breakup song where she is trying to look for her partner, her ex. In everything, she's like looking at people's windows, which is obviously a metaphor. She's not looking at people's windows. She's going to places she thinks she will find him and stuff. The song has no bridge, and I've literally never seen anybody talk about this song ever. I'm all the time on Twitter. I didn't read a single person mention this song. I didn't even know this song existed. The next song is The Prophecy, which I know is a relatable song to a lot of people, and I'm interested to know because my friend told me that she thinks that this song is about her. I want to know what this is.
Hand on the throttle, thought I caught lightning in a bottle, and it was written, I got cursed like Eve got bitten. Pat around when I get home. I guess a lesser woman would have lost hope. But I looked to the sky and said, please, I've been on my knees. Change the prophecy. Don't want money, just someone who wants my company. Let it once be me. Who do I have to speak to about if they can redo the prophecy?
Speechless. Wow, this song could have killed me sometime back. I'm not joking. This song could have really ended me through and through if I had heard it last year. A lesser woman would have lost hope, but you know, she still keeps hoping. But at one point, things keep repeating, and then you're like,
please stop it.
She's literally begging to God. She's like, please stop whatever you're doing. Is there a prophecy that you have written about me that, you know, I have to get hurt again and again? And if so, please change it, because, you know, I've had enough. Who do I have to speak to change whatever is happening to me? Why does this keep happening to me? And I know people are gonna get hurt.
Low is the quicksand, poison blood from the wound of the pricked hand. Oh, still I dream of him. Please, I've been on my knees. Change the prophecy. Don't want money, just someone who wants my company. Let it once be me. Who do I have to speak to about if they can redo the prophecy?
I don't want money. I just want someone who wants my company. Funny.
And I sound like an infant, feeling like the very last drops of an ink pen. And I look unstable, but even statues crumble if they're made to wait. I'm so afraid I sealed my fate. No sign of soulmates. I'm just a paperweight in shades of gray.
I'm so afraid I sealed my fate. No sign of soulmates. I'm worried for my friend who told me this song is about her. And I'm telling you guys, this song, it has the potential to ruin somebody and put them back in depression. Taylor, you will be responsible for so many people's mental health. Okay, imagining myself like 2 years back, I'm sitting and I'm listening to this song. I would have shattered right then and there. I would have been lying on the ground with tears flowing from my eyes, looking at the sky and literally begging in the same manner could have been me. Heal. My advice is heal, you guys.
Someone will tell me it'll be okay.
This is me talking to my friend. Spending my last coins, someone will tell me it'll be okay. I tell her it'll be okay all the time. वो अलग बात है कि she doesn't believe me. It will be okay, you guys. If someone's listening to me right now, like watching this video and who relates to prophecy, it'll be okay. I will be that person to tell you. It's going to be perfectly fine. Taylor is okay now. You will be as well. The next song is Cassandra. After Cassandra, there is Peter, lucky people, and then there is Robin. You guys are so lucky. She is never in her whole entire longest life, and she's never gonna write a song called With a Star.
I was in my new house placing daydream, and the first stone's thrown, they're screaming. So they killed Cassandra first, cause she feared the worst and tried to tell it down.
This song sounds very fictional. I don't know, it's about burning the witches. Seems like that kind of a scenario where people are burning women who are believed to be witches. And whoever this Cassandra person is, I mean, sometimes I don't understand if these are like her imagination or like real people. Of course, there is no real person, Cassandra, who got killed or something. If you hear some noises, guys, I'm just kind of trying to untangle my necklaces. It's very important that I do this because I have zero jewelry left because everything is in this manner. I need somebody to explain to me this song.
Twisting all my smiles into snarls. What happens if it becomes who you are?
This song sounds very Hunger Game-ish. It's about killing and hiding from people and being in prison and mourning, because I cannot relate it to anything that would have happened except from that 2016 incident, the actual Kanye thing. Maybe the song is about that, who knows. But then who is Cassandra? To be honest, guys, my mind is constantly like, truth, dare, spin bottles, you know how to ball Aristotle. I can't get it off my mind. Next song is Peter.
Forgive me, Peter, my lost fearless leader, in closets like cedar, preserved from when we were just kids. Said you were gonna grow up and you were gonna come find me. Said
This song is like the opposite of Dorothy. Seems like Peter is representing some kind of friend who, you know, kept some promises. You were gonna grow up and then you were gonna come find me. I think I'll find out more in the next verse. If not, then I will Google it.
you're still a mind reader, a natural scene stealer. Heard great things, Peter, but life was always easier on you than it was on me. We both did the best we could do underneath the same moon.
I'm not sure what this is about regarding to her, but then in this context, it's like great best friends. Bachpan mein they grow up and one of them has always been lucky. Things have always been easier for them than it were for her. She's saying we both did the best we could underneath the same moon. Like they're both trying equally, but then maybe luck favors one person more than the other. वो थोड़ा आगे निकल जाते हैं in some sort, which is very relatable to, I guess, everybody who ever exists. One person is Peter, the other one is the narrator.
I won't confess that I waited, but I let the lamp burn as the men masqueraded. I hoped you'd return. I tried to hold on to the day when you were mine.
So either this Peter guy was a friend or a lover, but either way, it was something that happened when she was young, and it's very relatable. Life is fair to some and unfair to some people, and it's just a song about that. Next song is The Bolter. Bolter means somebody who runs away.
By all accounts, she almost drowned when she was 6 in frigid water. Splendidly selfish, charmingly helpless, excellent fun till you get to know her. Then she runs like it's a race. Behind her back, her best mates laughed, and they nicknamed her the Bolter.
Splendidly selfish, charmingly helpless, excellent fun till you get to know her. This is about the Bolter being this person who is great when you first meet them, but when you get to know them, you find out they have issues, which is literally everyone. Guys, if you think मेरा आधा ध्यान इसमें है, वो है, पर मेरा ध्यान गाने में भी है, and I'm not just able to put it into words because ये गाना काफी self narrative है.
With the slam of the door, then he'll call her a whore, but she wouldn't be sore, but if she was leaving, what a charming Saturday. That's when she sees the littlest leaks down in the floorboards, and she just knows she must bolt.
Now she's talking about this cute kind of love affair that she has started. He was a good guy and wanted her so bad, and she also wanted to feel like how it feels, you know, blushing and all of that, Central Park mein in rowboats and stuff. And then she just knows that she must bolt, like she's in it to run. वो गई ही है इसलिए कि उसको भागना है उससे. She keeps on mentioning this one incident where she fell through the ice and came out alive. बार बार mention करती है. I don't know if it really happened, but it's like a childhood trauma situation. There's something inexplainable that defines her patterns throughout.
She is waiting, hearts are hers, what a break-in, there's escape and escaping.
अभी तक पता चल गया है कि मुझे this song is about hookup culture or something. She's been many places with men of many faces, and none of it's changing. The childs are waiting, hearts are hers for breaking. Like she's in it to break somebody's heart, and there is escape in escaping. Escaping means running from the people and then escaping some situation in her own mind. Next song is Robin.
May you reign, you're an animal, you are bloodthirsty. Levers slowed down, clocks tethered, all this showmanship to keep it.
Song is not very catchy, very slow, very specific, very wordy. What I interpreted from this song is either she's singing it to herself, maybe her inner self, her old self, and she's kind of, you know, telling them ki you've been so great always and you can do it again. The way to go, Tiger, you know, higher and wilder. She sees this inner self as a magical thing and who has dreams and aspirations in their life, and she knows you can do it, you can bounce back from anything. This is something you speak to yourself or to like a friend, a close one. This song could be for the days when you're feeling down and you want to give yourself like a pep talk. Next song is The Manuscript, which is the last song of this album. It's like Mastermind or Dear Reader.
Now and then she rereads the manuscript, the entire torrid affair. They compared their licenses. He said, I'm not a donor, but I'd give you my heart if you needed it. He said, no, just a good Samaritan. Soon they'd be pushing strollers.
Am I allowed to say this? Okay, so this is kind of like she's starting to talk to someone as a naya flirt kind of, and then he's like, I'm not a donor, but I'll give you my heart if you need it. That's new. He said that if the sex was half as good as the conversation was, soon they'd be pushing strollers, which means they will have kids. But soon it was over.
In the age of him, she wished she was 30 and made coffee every morning in a French press. Then she dated boys who were her own age. She wasn't sure.
Wow. You know what it's giving. You know what it's giving. Right? Probably she's like too young in this situation and she wishes she was older. But then when it ended, uske baad she went back to her own life and then started dating boys her own age. He said to her she was so wise beyond her years. It's giving a groomer.
Said to write what you know, looking backwards might be the only way to move forward.
A lot of you should remember this. Looking backwards might be the only way to move forward. That doesn't mean you have to like hang on to your past, but you have to learn from your mistake, and you can only learn if you are aware of what wrong you did and what happened to you. If you're aware of that, then only you can move forward in life. You cannot just ignore and cut off your past. Seems like this is speaking to me in some weird sense.
Only thing that's left is the manuscript. One last souvenir from my trip to your shores. Now and then I reread the manuscript. The story isn't mine anymore.
Exactly. She's not explicitly mentioned someone or a relationship. Maybe she has, but I'm not able to point out who exactly this person is. But she's like, now and then she rereads the manuscript of the entire Torrid affair. Rereading the manuscript means she revisits it in her mind, and throughout the song she's saying that she recognizes what went wrong, and that's the only way she's come so far, which is a great lesson. And with that, we are done with the Tortured Poets department. Woohoo! What a ride! If you have not watched the previous video, you can go and watch it right now. It's linked in my description as well. This one was more deeper. Maybe I was into it more deeper than the first one. And even if I didn't like a lot of songs, and there were like 2 bangers maybe, but I understood a lot of these songs, and I went in a little more depth than before, because I realized as I listened to the Tortured Poets department after I made my video, obviously, like for the 2 weeks I've heard this album. Every day there is something I like more and more. This is the beauty of this album, that it's timeless. There is no way I'm gonna know all these songs before I attend my tours, so I'm really hoping she doesn't put a lot of songs on the set list from this album, because it's gonna be a problem. Thank you so much guys again for watching and coming back and loving me so much. I love you back. I will see you soon. Bye bye.